What is it like to be in time?
If you're watching this, take the time just to settle in, because not only am I going to be speaking about topics, but the frequencies that I'm generating, they're going to be supporting you as well. I'm not just talking, I am in sync, I'm in time, and as a result of my being, just like a tuning fork or just by osmosis, you're catching that vibe, you're catching that presence. For those that are quite sensitive to, say, energy or, other people, like empaths, you'll feel me. For some people that might be more heady, you probably won't. That's totally fine. But if you want to get the most out of this video, just settle in, just relax. You don't need to write notes. Sit down, relax, enjoy the ride. And that's what it's all about. Time, being in time. It's about synchronizing your physical environment with your synchronization point. It's something that actually came up today for me. It's like your synchronization point. People are amazing, right? Humans, we're super advanced. We live in the past, we live in the future. We can move into different realities, anxieties, thinking about what's going to happen to me if I do X. We have guilt, living in the past, all those sorts of things. That's because we have moved out of time. Our brilliance lives in time, is always in time. The way that we can synchronize in time is by noticing things around us. So noticing the room around you, the objects, and then referencing them off your body. So I notice, say, the wall, and then I notice my sternum, and I notice the wall again, and then the distance from the wall to my body. You're pulling your physical self, you're setting a beacon internally so that you come together. And that's what it's about, being in time, in sync. And then what's it like being in time? As you come into time, the initial phases, and depending on where you're at, the initial phases is, if you have a lot of limitations, or you've been living, with abuse patterns, or you don't know who you are and you've been trying to find yourself, or whatever it is, you have a bliss almost. You have not a euphoria of like, wow, oh my God. It's not that euphoria, okay? It's more of a peaceful content, feels like home. That's what it feels like. When you experience that, you feel you come home because you are going home, you're connecting home. Then you kind of go back down. You see your potential, you feel it, and then you go, okay, well, what's in the way of me maintaining that? And that's where you see where you've been abusing yourself, limiting yourself, where you've been letting people walk over you, where you haven't been speaking your truth. Say luck patterns for some individuals that might just fall out of luck, like no matter how hard they work, it just doesn't work. It'll just click. You're just like, damn, what the fuck is that? Why do I need that? All of those things start showing up for you. And then as you move through, you have those opportunities to then either continue living that way or you choose a new path. Okay, so you create space between you and a limitation, and then you see other possibilities. So this is why it's really important to observe and not just jump into a feeling or an emotion. But once you start playing in that realm of, say, genius, you just are. And this is where you start to create really well. Who knows the law of attraction, manifestation, visualizing? That's where all of these things start to happen, because that your grander self has come into time and creation happens in sync. A lot of people out there create outside of themselves, so that's why they always chase, or it never lasts. And also, as you synchronize with your deepest self, it knows the best way to create total fulfillment for you. And it has nothing to do with the physical stuff. It has nothing to do with the money, the goals, all those things. It's just being in sync with time, with your environment, you in your environment. And as you do that, you don't need anything. And then instead of it becoming, who am I? That's like phase one. Who am I? Like discovering yourself, getting to know you, and then getting rid of the trash that isn't you, that isn't, say, the best you. And then phase two is, how can I define myself even more? Like, how can I live in my potential even more? Because I know who I am. How can I express it more? How can I define it more?